So you want to know how to increase your status and become an alpha male. Well, every guy wants to, and in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to do that. My name is Keith Carpenter. I made this channel to help men create their ideal lives through self-mastery. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the channel because I'm putting out new videos every single day to help guys just like you create their ideal lives. So let's get into today's topic, increasing your status, becoming an alpha male. How do you do it? Well, we're going to cover something called the dominance hierarchy today. If this is the first time you're hearing about this, I learned about this several years ago from Jordan Peterson. He's got a lot of good content on it as well if you want to check that out. But essentially the dominance hierarchy is a ranking system that we all intuitively know about, but no one really speaks about it. And this system determines the alpha males, the beta males. You'll see it in your own social group. You can tell who's in charge versus who's the butt of the joke, who gets pushed around, whose opinion matters and whose doesn't, who does well with the women, who has all the luck, these kinds of things. Well, this is determined by the dominance hierarchy. Your position in the dominance hierarchy is not only going to affect your success with women, it affects your biological state. The chemical serotonin actually gets produced a lot more depending on your position in the dominance hierarchy. The higher you move up the hierarchy, the more serotonin you produce. It goes down to the same concept as the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. It's the same concept in this area because serotonin is going to dictate your confidence, your willingness to take risks, your self-esteem and all these things, and you get more of that the more you win. So the process of going up the dominance hierarchy, it's going to be hard at first if you're low in status right now, and you might know this about yourself, but once you get the ball rolling, it gets easier and easier and you can take off. It's a very exponential process. So a little bit about the dominance hierarchy. It's a process mainly associated with men. Women have one as well, but primarily it's a male thing, and women pluck the men from the top of the dominance hierarchy. Men are oftentimes competing for resources and mating options. Those are usually the things you're thinking about. How can I get girls? How can I get money? How can I get opportunities in my life and things like that? And your position in the dominance hierarchy is going to determine this. And this dominance hierarchy thing, it's been around for over 250 million years. This is ingrained in your biology, your psychology. You know it's there. There's no getting around it, so you might as well embrace it and figure out how to win the game because it's very straightforward once you learn the steps. So there's 5 main things that I have down here that if you can get these things up, your position in the dominance hierarchy will increase, and therefore your success with women, your alpha male characteristics will start to come out more. You'll have more opportunities in your life, more resources, and your life will just be better the higher up the hierarchy you go. First thing I have, physical ability. This comes down to physical strength, athleticism, physical capability. Essentially, a man needs to be strong. He needs to be able to handle himself and be protector. You know, fighting's also in here. If you learn how to fight, that's going to increase your physical ability because you can defend the people that you need to defend in your life. For men, the blessing of the dominance hierarchy, the gift and the curse of it, is that men have to work to get their position in the hierarchy, whereas the female hierarchy is typically dictated by physical attractiveness. If you're born attractive, you're automatically going to be higher up the hierarchy as a woman. Whereas men, we have to climb up this hierarchy or we can fall back down it based on our performance because our physical attractiveness is less important in the long run. So this is a good thing because it gives everyone an opportunity, less of it is biologically set in stone, but it's also a hard thing because you're not going to get the luck of having just physical attractiveness getting you somewhere in life. It can help, it obviously helps, but at the end of the day, if you don't put in the work and you don't work on the other characteristics on here, you're not going to get anywhere and it doesn't matter. So physical ability comes down to strength, ability to defend and protect, things like that. This is why I always talk about building the body. I talk about this for everything. Building the body gets your self-confidence up. It'll make you look more attractive. You'll be more capable of things. You'll feel better about yourself. It teaches you a lot of values that help you build money and help you do a lot of other important things. It is just absolutely vital that a man have a good body. It is essential to success in life. Second thing I have down here, social status. What's your social circle like? Your social circle can provide a lot of great opportunities or it can bring you down. If you hang out with a bunch of stoners who play video games all day, your social circle isn't providing you any real opportunity. But if you're hanging around with people who are career-oriented, who have their relationships together, who have opportunities with other women, who have a lot of money, things like that, you're going to open up more doors for yourself. So your social status is going to be key. And I'm sure back when you were in high school, you knew somebody who you didn't really understand why he was so popular in the school, but it came down to he was friends with the right people. He really didn't have much going on for himself, but he was just friends with the right people, so he got this inflated position in the high school. High school is a great place to observe a dominance hierarchy because it's very clear cut. You know, you got your jock athletes at the top, and everybody kind of falls in below, and you can figure it out very clearly in high school. So it's a really good place to see it. But you know, there's always those guys you don't really understand why they seem to have all this like status and position, and it comes down to being friends with the right people. That's sort of what social status is all about. But your connections are going to help you in the long run, and this is going to help you elevate yourself up the hierarchy. Having the right social circle, that is. The third thing I had down, self-confidence. Self-confidence, it comes down to you got to have direction. You know, mostly the hierarchy is dealt with the right now, the here and now, the present moment. How much resources do you have? How are you doing right now? But if you're somebody who's self-confident and self-directed and has a plan for where they're going, this does show up in your results in the hierarchy. People are going to respect the fact that you have direction and that you're not seeking approval from other people, that you have internal approval from yourself. Self-confidence can be built through the other factors on this hierarchy, doing what you say you're going to do, building the body and things like that. But essentially get in a habit of knowing where you're going and not being shaken by other people's opinions. Hey guys, real quick, if you're enjoying this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel because I'm putting out all new videos, and hit the thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. It helps me get the message out to more guys out there. Now back to the video. All right, so the fourth thing that helps you move up the dominance hierarchy is your acquisition of resources, this being primarily wealth. If you have wealth, it's going to be easier to get more wealth. You're going to have more opportunities. You're going to have more success with women. This is, I mean, everybody knows this, but having resources is key. This is why you need to have multiple sources of income coming in. You need to be focused on this. You can't be content with average income. You need to be moving up this hierarchy, because that's the way to move up the overall hierarchy, is to move up the wealth hierarchy as well. So if you're working a corporate job right now, start investing some money, get a second source of income coming. If you're trying to build a business, focus hard on building that business, and the other things will come to you essentially in the long run. The fifth and final thing on here, accomplishment. Accomplishment to me comes down to, I mean, you could think about, say, like a Navy SEAL, for example. Navy SEALs, they don't get paid like a ton of money, but they have a lot of accomplishments. Maybe they've gotten medals in battle, or they've accomplished something serious. You know, they've done something and contributed something major to society, and with that, they get a lot of respect. And it's deservedly so. So having accomplishments, it doesn't mean you have to go join the military, but, you know, achieving in your own personal field. Maybe you're into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, getting your black belt, or you play, I don't know, basketball and just being the best basketball player, or competing on your college basketball team, or just whatever area of your life you're competing in, essentially accomplishing things in that area and taking pride in those accomplishments, not just being mediocre at the things that you're doing. The thing about the dominance hierarchy that I think is interesting is a lot of guys will complain about it, and they just want to be loved for who they are, and they don't want to have to put in any work. But the thing about it is, it makes total sense that the kind of man who's physically capable, who has a good social circle around him, who's self-confident, wealthy, and is accomplished and is doing positive things in the world, it makes sense he would be the guy at the top of the hierarchy. And so nature has a funny way of sorting out the men who are actually contributing to the world versus the men who aren't, and it does it through this hierarchy. And those are the kind of guys you want to see reproducing to the next generation, because they're going to make the species better anyways. So I really suggest that you embrace the dominance hierarchy, embrace improving these areas of your life, and you should be on a daily basis focusing on, how can I improve these things? How can I accomplish more? How can I increase my income? How can I get physically better today? How can I get more self-directed and focused? How can I include the right people in my life to give me the right opportunities, and that I can provide opportunities to as well? It just makes sense that these things would be the things that benefit you as a man when it comes to reproduction and resource acquisition. It just makes sense that these would be the things to do. So stop doing all the low-level behaviors that aren't helping you get where you want in life, and start focusing on the things that make you the kind of man you want to be to begin with, and the fruits of your labor will be all the things you want anyways. You'll get the opportunities with women, you'll get the money, you'll get all these different things, but you've got to put in the work, climb up the hierarchy, and you can get there. Guys, that's all I got for this episode. Thanks for watching again. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on tomorrow's video.